Why today as an e-commerce, you will be speaking with your customer very often, and very often you will they will ask themselves, does he know who I am? Do they know what I like to buy? And that's a very important thing. And I'm gonna give you a bit of background on why at Aircall we know what customers are expecting, especially in the e-commerce industry. Aircall is a cloud-based phone system for companies. Okay, we allow any company in the world to create all their phone infrastructure in a minute and to integrate it to all the tools that companies are already using.
Yeah, as I was saying, Aircall is a cloud-based phone system. And we are used to integrate our system with all the tools that companies are already using, especially e-commerce. So it can be their help desk, it can be their CRM. And this is how we came up with the fact that everyone needs to have a better customer interactions. So Aircall is really the phone system in between all the tools that you're already using. Most of you here probably know those tools, and you're using them for your customer service department, for your sales department, and Aircall is connected to those tools. So we realized that actually people in an e-commerce industry, it's important to have to know your customer, to deliver the best experience ever to them, because you can choose and change. Just for the record, every e-commerce finally is selling the same kind of tools. So it's important to have one thing that differentiates yourself. For the record, little background about Aircall. We have about 5,000 customers over the world. We are 250 employees worldwide. We have clients in 60 countries. We are doing more than 500 million calls for the past 4 years that we're existing. So we know a little bit what's happening and what e-commerce are expecting from to do a good deliver of service. So next, please. Yes. So I'll tell you what is the expected experience today you should expect as a client and as an e-commerce, what you should deliver to attract your customer. Today, the customers have several choices to buy a product. Either it's an e-commerce brand and you sell one specific product on your own brand. Either you're actually a marketplace that sells different products, but at the end, everyone sells most of the same product. So why people would come to you? Why would people come to you? They would come to you because you deliver the best service to them, and because you have something different that others don't bring. And that's the case of Amazon, if you think about it. Why people buy on Amazon? It's not just for the price, because they deliver a good service. So there is two things that are actually important when you have an e-commerce or when you do sell something online. The first thing is what's the experience you're going to deliver. And the other, of course, is the speed. Are you able to go fast? And these two things, you can split them in another two important things, is that there is a sales part, so how are you going to sell to those people? And there is the service part, how happy those people will be if there is a problem, how fast can you answer their questions, etc. Before. And today, finally, if you start with the sales, the most important thing is when you come on a website is, do I find right away what I want? Am I able to find the exact product I want in the right color with the right characteristics? And it might sound very easy, but actually so many websites we have seen where clients are complaining, say, I cannot find the product I look for. It's complicated, I cannot choose the color. And this is simple things, but how fast the person can come on your website and buy the product that he wants without having tons of pop-ups. And how can you propose him added value when he buys something? Let's say a similar product, a product that would work with this other product, because that happens. How many times have you bought something that actually needs another tool to make it work? And it happens every day. So this is on the sales part. And if we go on the service part, you will see that it's an interesting thing that was done a few months back by KPMG that explains how today actually at the customer service people, they expect three different things, and they're always the same. It's an issue resolved quickly, it's personalized, and a knowledgeable staff. The truth is that most of the time when you call the customer service, it's not personalized. That you say, you get a person, say, hello, what's your name? Can I have your order number? Can I have a few information about who you are? Which is not good. You just purchased on this website, and you feel actually they don't even know you. So on the service side is, how are you going to make sure that your customer, when they call you or when they receive their product or at the moment they bought, they have a great experience? There is three different things I see. One is, I just paid, so I would like to have information when I'm going to be delivered. I would like to be updated live if, let's say, my package arrived at the post office of my city, of my county, anywhere. Have an update, a little SMS, an email, say, hey, we are on the way, it's going to come in the next couple of days. It's important because this is small things that will make the difference. Because as I said before, at the end e-commerce, everyone sells the same product. Even if you sell your own brand, at the end, you can buy similar products somewhere else. So the branding has not much difference. What is important is really the experience here. So if we look on the sales part of it, so when you call someone, and at the customer service, they don't know your name, while actually you put your number in the website, so you are registered as a number. Why would they ask you what's your name if you call with the same number? And that's exactly what our customers in general expect from their phone system, is that they're able to have a tool that is integrated to their CRM, to their help desk, to any software they use, to make sure we don't get into that and we don't lose 1 minute just for asking names, order number, etc., who are you, etc. And delivering a very personalized experience to each person that calls you is probably the most important thing you have. Because as a shop, the only thing the only moment that you have to speak to your customer is when they're calling you to complain about something or ask you something. And if you look at it today, 76% of global shoppers expect customer service reps to know who they are. That is really important, because you're not in a real shop where you get in and you can speak to a salesperson and the salesperson can recognize you. You're just a random person in this huge ocean. So feeling that they know you, that they know what you've purchased, is probably the most important thing that you can expect from them. And there is several ways of talking to your customers. And there is chat, there is phone, there is emails, and we'll see that. So we'll see why the omnichannel is really a challenge today to talk to your customer and to create your business in general. Today, when you create your customer service department and you create your company as an e-commerce, you have different choices. You can have phone, you can have chat, you can have email, you can have phone to chat. I mean, there is several ways you could do it. But each single way could be for different purposes. Chat usually is the person has an emergency, wants to ask something quickly about, let's say, a product, about how fast can you deliver, or characteristics. So it's important to be very reactive. Email would be a general question. You have this general question, you ask it. It's not an emergency. You can take up to 24 hours to reply. No one will be mad at you. And then you have the phone. Phone is the only moment you're going to speak to those people, and you're going to have to learn who he is and take as much as information as you can, because otherwise you're missing the only moment you can speak to your customer, and you just treat him as anyone else, which really shouldn't be the case, especially when you get a phone call. Usually it's for an emergency. The guy has an emergency question, he doesn't understand, the product he got delivered is not the right product. I mean, several reasons could be, but that's where you have to be the most efficient. You have to be the most professional. You have to be able to show him that you know what you're doing, you know who he is, and you know what he liked, most important than anything. And today, in this globalization, we have customers in over 60 countries. So it doesn't change by countries. It's the same actually. And people are buying all over the world. 2/3 of European customers, so we talk about European here, actually are buying products all over the world. So as an e-commerce, you have to be international. You have to be international because you have a market that is worldwide, that is all over the world. And you cannot miss this just because either you're afraid of going international or because you think it's going to be too complicated to manage a multilingual business. You can't, because if you add the fact that people are coming from all over the world, you can sell on your website, you can sell on marketplaces, and you multiply that by the number of potential users all over the world, it's incredible the market you can have. And if you deliver this great experience, you're unstoppable in a way. And that's basically what Amazon did in a couple of years, of course. Finally, what we see today, and we see it every day, we have the conversations of our customers, we help them even analyze those conversations. What we see is that finally, very rarely, customers, when they buy a product, they're amazed by the company experience they just lived. They're happy, they get the product. But do they feel part of the company? Do they feel actually this company is bringing something more than any other company? Because if I can buy on Amazon or I can buy on Price Minister or whatever, and it's the same experience at the end, who should I choose? And so it's a small thing that will change, is your ability to personalize every interaction you have with every customer you speak with. So the big thing that now we see, and that is important, is that you have an interconnected commerce. So every single tool you use should be connected to one tool that is your CRM or your help desk. Your CRM is your customer base. So this is the most important thing. And all your other tools should be connected to that. Let's say fraud and security. If you have this client, every time he comes, he's trying to do a fraud, you should be aware. Your system should be able to detect it. Same for payment, order history, etc. Everything should communicate there. And that's where also all your interaction tools, like your phone system, your chat system, your email system, should also connect to that too. Because this is where the information is. And this is the only way you can help your customer in a better way and not make him waste time with questions that he already answered at the moment he probably signed up. You will see here, and something we've done with Intercom, is the chat to call. You're on a chat with one of your customers. He's trying to understand something you guys are not able to answer right away by chat. It's easier, you can launch a call directly. This is things that we start to see in different e-commerce, in different shops, where for them it's important that you mix the fact that you're on a chat, but you're also a real person behind. And if I'm not able to answer your question via chat because it's getting too complicated, the writing is complicated, takes time, I can just call you. And this is a good experience. Imagine you're someone, you're buying something, you're not sure about the size or anything, you can just call the person via the chat directly. And that is small things that really change the way your customer will interact with you. That's another example with the Shopify, for instance. Maybe some of you are using Shopify. Today with Shopify, when you get a chat, you have the information. But if you don't get a chat, if you're getting a call, you don't have the information. And that is where it's important to always know who is your customers. So finally, what are the important things that I would like you to remember after these presentations? Is there three things? Oh my God, it's missing something. But okay, three things is always personalize your informations. Always personalize who you're speaking with and why should he buy from you and not from another one. In today's e-commerce, it's easy to deploy a shop. You can start to sell things all over the world in a minute, as I said before. And everyone buys the same product from the same places, etc. If you don't have your own brand, personalize the interaction, show your customer you know him, and that you want him to shop with you because you can bring more value than anyone else. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jonathan. Give a round of applause, please, for Jonathan again. And we apologize for the inconveniences and the better job you did up here. I'm sure there are a lot of questions here in the audience. So who wants to ask the first question? Please raise your hand. Don't be shy. Okay, I was a little bit focusing on getting the right spot to hit the track, but from what I gathered, like you're talking about, how you unify a whole approach in order to make the customer like really experience like as close as possible to like an offline analogical conversation. And my question would be, how do you measure it? Like how do you measure afterwards that you're really achieving your goal?
Very easily. I mean, again, it's all about having tools connected to each other, and measuring is how many times your customer is coming back to buy. Is he happy? Of course, through NPS. NPS is a good way of measuring your customer satisfaction. But I would say an important thing is really how many times your customer is buying from you. And is he coming again for different products and buying more and more with you? Or is he just buying once and never coming back? If he's buying once and not coming back, you probably have a problem somewhere.
Okay, just the simple hard facts sometimes are the best. But you're not using some additional questionnaires or like user experience tools to back up the sales numbers?
No, of course, and I mean, one of the important things as a shop especially is that are you able to sell more to one customer that comes for something? So let's say the guy comes to buy a TV, are you able to sell him other products, cables, something to a holder for the wall, anything that shows that, hey, I know you're buying a TV, you actually probably need that cable, you probably needed a wall holder, etc., etc. And that's small things that just make a difference for a shopper, because if he buys the TV and gets the TV and at the end he cannot put it on his wall and it doesn't work because he doesn't have an HDMI cable or whatever, the experience is bad. He has to make another order. So it's just always thinking to the next step and to the extra mile when you work with your customer.
Okay, so go down to the audience. Any questions that popped up right now? I'm sure you can. You're able to talk at your booth. Where's your stand? Just behind the corner, and you'll be here for a couple of seconds, minutes maybe. And then I would say enjoy lunch break, and thanks again for apologizing this slight technical issues. Thanks again for Jonathan Anguelov from Aircall. Thank you very much.